Things are getting so bad for Republicans in the House of Representatives with their ongoing impeachment inquiry into President Biden, along with, of course, the investigation into Hunter Biden, that Jim Jordan appears to be panicking that his entire career is crumbling before his very eyes. And CNN was lucky enough to capture this moment on video when reporter Manu Raju was able to catch up with Jim Jordan and ask him about the fact that their star witness has not only been indicted for lying about Hunter Biden and Joe Biden to the FBI, but it was also revealed earlier this week that the information that he received actually came from officials tied to Russian intelligence. Jim Jordan pretends he's unfazed by it, but you can tell from his response that he is absolutely terrified of the implications of this information. So take a look at Manu Raju catching up with Jim Jordan. Here it is.
You said that 1023 is the most corroborating piece of information you have.
It corroborates, but it doesn't change those fundamental facts. So now
but it's not true.
Well, so okay, so it's the FBI told us that this source was so 14.
So that is one thing that Jim Jordan did actually say just a few weeks ago about that information from the FBI informant who is alleged to have made all of this up, saying that this is what Jordan said. This is the most corroborating evidence we have is that 1023 form, referring to the form that the FBI officials filled out while they were interviewing this informant. He said this is coming from a highly credible, confidential human source. And now we know that that is not true, but it really underscores the challenges that Republicans face here in trying to build the case to impeach Joe Biden.
So Jim Jordan, trying to play it cool. You could tell he's like a little on edge. He doesn't like it at all. He knows how bad it is for him. And then Raju, of course, explains that you yourself said this was the corroborating evidence, and now we know that this evidence was fake. So you say it backs up your claims, but if the backing up is fake, then wouldn't that mean the claims are fake, right? Like, oh, well, this totally backs up everything we said. Okay, but this is all fake. None of this is true, which means if it backs up what you say, then none of what you say is true either, right? That's how that works. And I don't think Jim Jordan quite put those pieces together in his head, but I think they're so close, like they want to be put together. He is just actively trying to pull them apart so that he doesn't connect the dots mentally. But as you heard in that clip, Jim Jordan said, well, this doesn't change the four fundamental facts. So what are those four fundamental facts? Well, prior to the clip I showed you, Jim Jordan did, in fact, explain those four fundamental facts. The first one is that Hunter Biden was paid $1 million a year by Burisma. Okay. The second one, Hunter Biden wasn't qualified to be on the board of Burisma. Oh dear. A human being has a job they're not qualified for? If that's a criminal offense, Jim, then you need to lawyer up. Because if we can start prosecuting people for having jobs they're not qualified for, I think at this point 75% of Congress is about to be under criminal investigation. Having a job that you were not qualified for, even if you admit you're not qualified for it, which Jordan says Biden did, that's not illegal. I mean, hell, that's like 99% of corporate America at this point. They're not qualified for it. They got it because of their last name or because of their connections. What is the third point here? Oh yeah, third one. They asked Hunter Biden, allegedly, if he could have his dad help. And Hunter Biden did not ask his dad, and his dad did not help. So even if Ukraine did make the request, they didn't honor the request, so that's not illegal. Like, that's actually the exact opposite. They did the right thing instead of doing the wrong thing. And then, of course, his fourth point, he says, was that Biden, withheld the aid for Ukraine, which he actually didn't. The global community was pushing for the removal of Viktor Shokin as the state prosecutor. And by the way, removing him was actually a bad thing for Burisma. So all of Jim Jordan's points are easily debunked. He's freaking out because the only corroborating evidence he had has now been proven to be fake, and Jim Jordan understands that he staked his entire career on this investigation, and it's all going down in flames.